On the radar this week, Kaduna State Government, in collaboration with General Electric, is installing state-of-the-art hospital equipment across 23 general hospitals and 255 primary healthcare centers in the state, while also constructing solar-powered boreholes and toilet facilities.
And we believe that this equipment will go a long way in reducing the maternal and neonatal deaths that we're having in the facility. The equipment are up to date. They are of a good technology. In fact, they are of recent trend I have barely even seen before.
The new equipment are going to be very, very helpful in that they are latest, they are more portable. We can even move some to other units that possibly we have patients that cannot move to where we want to examine them. We can move them to even where the patient is lying down, and then we could use that to do our diagnosis and then scan, find out what is wrong, and then prompt management will be executed.
Kaduna State Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Accessibility Mechanism, CADMAM, has scored Kaduna State Healthcare Delivery high in budget performance. This was made known at the 4th quarterly interactive session of the CADMAM.
The spot check, which was done to all the 77 primary health care centers that were said to be completed, which was just presented by Manalaula Wakam now, the Honorable Commissioner, with the full observations and recommendations that are made for the Ministry's use. Honorable Commissioner.
Kaduna State Government, through the Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, approved the payment of 10,000 Naira monthly stipend to ward heads in the state for their efforts in the areas of security and primary healthcare services. In the same vein, the Governor attended the groundbreaking ceremonies of Jifatu International Mall by Jifatu Nigeria Limited, 500 miles housing scheme by Ummi Homes in Ambushia, Millennium City, Chukun Local Government, and Amsalco Neighborhood Center and Hotel by Amsalco Industries Limited in Murtala Mohammed Square in Kaduna Metropolis.
Bullan kawai da kawai kan taba albarka ne ranka da Papa Lolan Najeriya ya san haka. Allah kara maka lafiya.
Our spotlight this week focuses on quality of education in Kaduna State.
19.
It starts with Al-Amin Sani, a primary 6 pupil of a public primary school here in Kaduna. He could not read nor write. Such is the situation of a good number of public primary school pupils in the state. This is due to the sorry state of education and low quality of teachers in public schools in the state. The administration of Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai came into power in 2015 with in-depth knowledge of this poor state of education in the state and with a clear mission to fix the sector regardless. This knowledge and the will to take Kaduna State back to its pride of place as the center of learning in the country, and the calls by various stakeholders to look into and proffer a lasting solution to the menace of poor education in the state, led to the declaration of state of emergency in the sector by the administration.
Our purpose in government, Mr. Speaker, is to promote equality of opportunity, to give every child in Kaduna State the prospect of surviving pregnancy and infancy with sound health, to absorb decent education in our public schools, and develop the skills necessary to make the best of life. It is to ensure that pregnancy is not a death sentence for our women. It is to secure for our young people employment opportunities in a vibrant economy, regulated by a competent public service. It is about giving everyone in Kaduna State a fair chance in the race of life. It is about building a new kind of citizen, healthy, safe, confident, and empowered. It is about ending mass misery and impoverishment in Kaduna State.
The revolution began with infrastructural development, where 608 primary schools out of the total 4,200 in the state were renovated. This feat was realized due to the significant increase in budgetary allocation to the sector, with average of 33% of the total state budget for 3 years running.
We therefore fully embraced from the first day of our administration the recommendation of the United Nations that at least 26% of the budget of any state be allocated to education. We've averaged about 33% since we came into office. And our focus has been to revive the integrity of public education. We've invested strongly in rebuilding our schools, adding more classrooms to reduce congestion.
In the area of human capacity, with the teacher being the most important component and the conduit pipe through which knowledge is transferred to the students, and the dire need to improve quality in that regard to change the narratives of poor outputs synonymous with public schools in the state and even beyond, the administration, upon resumption of office, earmarked 317 million naira to the State Universal Basic Education Board (SUBEB) for the retraining of teachers to improve teacher quality. This policy did not yield much-needed results aimed at revolutionizing the sector. The outcome necessitated the decision to organize and implement a competency test for public primary school teachers, which led to the retrenchment of 21,000 teachers in the state.
When we came, we found that most of our teachers were not qualified. And not only that, they could not communicate with the pupils. And His Excellency gave us 317 million naira to retrain these teachers. We started the retraining of them, but we found that actually there was a big gap between the pupils and the teachers. So the communication was very, very important. So we reported to His Excellency that the teachers actually need to be not only retrained, but we have to test them and know their qualification, which will enable us to improve and give quality education to our primary school pupils. And we found that 21,780 could not pass primary 4 examinations, so they were disengaged.
Meanwhile, this decision prompted different reactions from different quarters, as some people viewed the action of the government as wrongly timed.
Yes, you see, the retrenchment really came as a sudden event because one would have thought that there would have been another approach to it that perhaps would have even also helped the pupils, the students, and most especially the teachers themselves.
The workers are supposed to be sacked, there are a lot of them there that are due for retirement. Okay, you can decide to retire those ones. Then recruit the ones that you want. I'm sure the number of the people that you are going to retire will be enough for you. Depends on the ones that you want to bring in.
If really they will recruit those that are competent, it's another. I specifically support that idea. But the problem is, those who are going to do the recruitment, are they going to follow exactly what El-Rufai, the governor of the state, wants?
While some are skeptical about these reforms, others supported the action, saying the revolutionary decision has long been overdue, as it will liberate the future generation from shackles of illiteracy and underdevelopment.
It's a very good idea because we have unqualified teachers. What El-Rufai is doing should be appraised. He should be praised, not even condemned. Because the product now, one will be in a tertiary institution, but he cannot even construct a good sentence because of the poor quality of education we have. So I am 100% with El-Rufai. It shouldn't be politicized. You understand? Yes, let them support him. Let them support El-Rufai. What El-Rufai is doing is we are 100% behind him. We the youth, we know what is going on.
The education now that they are giving to our children is too poor. Because if you send your son to school or your child to school to go and read, he will come back telling you, "Mommy, I don't know this, I don't understand this." You have to look for a teacher again that would train that child based on some studies that the child didn't even know in the school. So we are pleading with the government to help give us teachers that would train our children, most especially the government schools.
If the sacking of teachers is really to improve the standard, that is by employing new ones, it's okay.
Kaduna State government has the responsibility to determine who the teachers are, right? But then the receiving end is actually the populace, the citizens, who receive this education from the teachers. So if it is in the interest of the government, which ultimately goes down to the grassroots, that quality teachers are actually recruited, do you understand, for the benefit of the citizens at the end of the day, it is left for the state for the government to decide that.
The Kaduna State government is actually trying its best, and the issue of government schools have actually depopulated, and it actually needs a restructuring, because a lot of teachers go there to just chew groundnut and make noise. If you look at the level of the employment rate, the reason why it's actually at a low level is because the graduates are actually at a very low performance. They need to actually get the basics, and the basics is still the primary school, which the government has decided to restructure by getting the competent people. Change is inevitable, and we just have to endure and see how it goes, but we believe at the long run we'll have something better for Kaduna State.
As much as anybody would want to condemn the present administration on the ongoing reforms, policies and approaches, nobody can deny the existence of these issues and the fact that successive administration failed in tackling this menace, not because of their failure to identify the issues, but because they have all given more credence to their political ambitions and aspirations, which would have been hampered by policies such as these. It takes a man with an uncommon determination, commitment, and public interest at heart to face this myriad of challenges. We cannot boast of development until we have a highly developed educational system, vibrant operators, and service providers. The The disengagement of the 21,000 unqualified teachers as a result of the competency test carried out in the state was followed up with advertisement of the vacancies in both the print and broadcast media. Although the employment process cannot be said to be without challenges, however, the process was acclaimed to be credible as the new teachers went through a proper screening exercise and competency examinations to ensure that only the best scaled through.
Malam El-Rufai is a product of public school, to be sincere. And from the information I was able to gather, he is an ex-boy of Eli. So you get to realize that most of these our children we have in public schools, they are not performing. Let's be sincere. You get to see somebody finishing primary 6, yet that person cannot spell his name, not to talk of writing something that is readable. So I believe it's a giant step in the right direction, aimed at revolutionizing the educational sector and ensuring that there is sanity in the system.
I'm very happy. It is a rare opportunity, and hardly you find a place or a situation in where there is mass recruitment of teachers. So a lot of people are opportuned because most of us work in private schools. So it is a better opportunity for us to put into practice what we have learned there. Because in private schools that we teach in, they are very strict. They don't tolerate all that, and they are up to standard. So I believe that the new recruitment is going to bring in a lot of change.
I want to really appreciate the government, because ever since inception, I've never seen a situation whereby you write an exam or an aptitude examination and your name will come out without lobbying. So I really want to say, based on that, the system has actually done well. I'm very, very grateful.
I want this to continue in secondary school, even at the tertiary level, so that we have a wonderful educational reform in Kaduna State, because we say Kaduna is the center of learning, and center of learning must bring out those who are good. Not center of learning in theory, but rather in practical.
It's a very excellent process. I really liked it because we are talking about the leaders of tomorrow. So it's very good what he's really doing. He's really trying.
Over 40,000 applicants from all parts of the country applied. After the examination and screening, only 15,000 applicants were qualified for employment. The reform also included a tax-free upward review in the payment structure of the teachers in the state, with provision of accommodation for rural teachers.
We are redistributing teachers across our public primary schools and junior secondary schools to ensure equity, because in some local governments we have 9 pupils to 1 teacher, while in another local government we have 168 pupils to 1 teacher. So focused on public basic education to restore quality, to ensure that we have no children out of school in Kaduna. We have got virtually 100% increase in enrollment in our primary school since we came into office.
Sequel to the release of the list of successful candidates who applied and undergone screenings, examinations, and the subsequent offer of appointment letters, Kaduna State, through the Universal Basic Education Board (SUBEB), organized a 2-day induction and training for the existing and newly recruited teachers in batches in the state. Inductions are meant to introduce people into their new sphere of life. However, the state government used these inductions, which took place at various centers across the state, to train the newly recruited teachers on the rudiments requisite for the teaching profession.
We are learning a lot here, what to expect in the class and how to manage the class and the pupils who will meet in the class.
We've benefited a lot. From yesterday, we were taught on how to engage the children, how to be friendly to them, how to ensure that we impact positively on their lives, not just academically, but we also serve as role models to them.
This induction program is meant to prepare the new teachers for the challenge ahead of them, because they are coming in as new teachers to meet children from the public schools and a lot is expected from them. That is why we are here to train them so that we can prepare them ahead of the challenge before them.
New recruit, first of all, they are happy that His Excellency have given them appointment. They are no longer idle. And secondly, being exposed to new body of knowledge, they are excited about it. You can see for yourself there is full participation and the class is very excited. And some of them are saying if they wish His Excellency can add more days to them so that they can learn more.
So we are going around to see the new intake of these teachers and to encourage them on how to take teaching profession, very important. And to show them that they are here to learn the rudiment of teaching and then learn many things about teaching, lesson plan, class management, instructional materials and how to use them, how to even improvise, don't wait for the government to come in.
The training, which main objective was to equip the new teachers with the needed rudiments and skills, as well as reintegrate and update the existing teachers for effective classroom management and quality teaching in order to fit into the new quality framework set by the executive governor in the state, can be said to have achieved the desired impact, as it has reasonably prepared the teacher for the challenges ahead of them. After the training, the teachers are expected to give their best and support the state government to provide quality education to primary school pupils in the state, which will in turn unlock the doors of greatness abound in the state. We allowed public education to collapse, and both past military and civilian governments share the blame for not investing adequately in this sector. We are determined in Kaduna, no matter the cost or the price, to restore what is good in public education. Nasir Ahmed, El-Rufai.
Well, my general assessment of the just concluded Can Invest 3.0 is the fact that it was successful and it was another milestone through which investment opportunities that have come to Kaduna State so far can be consolidated, and it is another window for potential growth of investment and creating a new economic hub in Kaduna State in view of what transpired at the said Can Invest 3.0. There were rich conversations around how to consolidate on the gains we've achieved so far, and also on how to unbundle other business opportunities across the states. The summit was superb. It was an opportunity. It was another window through which a lot of human and natural resources were unbundled, especially natural resources, because there are a lot of investment opportunities in the areas of mining in view of the natural resources that Kaduna State is blessed with. So I don't think and I don't believe that it was more or less an elite-based summit. No, it is something that encompasses all strata of our state. Farmers were there, artisans were there, industrialists were there, and a host of businessmen and women.